All right, people, what's up? What's up? Welcome back, everybody. How are you doing? Haha. Okay. Let's get this party started, shall we? All right. Sounds good. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another delicious edition of Dinner with Chef Ed. Tonight, we are doing something a little different. We kind of keeping in the Middle Eastern, you know, terrain. Last night we did like Moroccan style lentils. So tonight we're doing Israeli couscous, right? So we're doing Israeli couscous, and we're doing that with some nice charred broccoli, some roasted sweet potatoes, some garbanzo beans, aka chickpeas, right? I don't know if I need both of these sweet potatoes. They were really big. What's up, people? Welcome. How's everybody doing? I hope you're having an amazing Friday so far. Welcome to the 100% plant-based channel. What's up, everybody? Everything here is 100% vegan, 24/7, and tasty. All right? So welcome. Monday to Friday, I go live and I show you what I'm making for dinner. All right? So tonight we're doing some Israeli couscous with some charred broccoli and what else are we working on? We have some sweet potatoes, onions, we have some garbanzo beans. Let me get a bowl. So I have water about to boil to my water. So anytime I do couscous, quinoa, anything like that, I always like to, add some flavor enhancers to the water, right? So we don't just cook it in just straight up water, right? Every opportunity you have to add flavor, you should 100% take it. So I'm going to add these beautiful bay leaves that I got from St. Lucia, right? And just rinse them off a little bit. All right, we're going to add that to the water. I have some fresh thyme as well. What's up, people? Welcome. If you're joining for the first time, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. All right, so we have fresh thyme, we have bay leaves in the water, and it's about to come to a boil. So to that, I'm going to add my Israeli couscous. This is whole wheat Israeli couscous, all right? We're gonna let that come to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, we're gonna just let it sit very nice and low, all right? The goal is to make it nice and slow. Okay, and then to that, we're gonna add just a pinch of salt. Not too much. Okay. Now let's get these sweet potatoes ready. How's everybody doing? What's up, Joyce, Mitchell, Brenda? What's up? Welcome back, everybody. Okay, let's get these sweet potatoes ready. So I want these to cook quickly, so I'm gonna give them, a small to medium dice size, right? Yeah, like this. Nothing crazy. Right onto my sheet tray. I'm gonna just run this down. So normally Monday to Thursday, I'll have most of my prep ready, and you'll basically see me doing the finishing touches on my meal and then the plate up. On Fridays, I like to extend the live where you get to see a little bit more of the prep and then, of course, the finished product. All right. But, sometimes things happen. So as life would have it, yeah. When I scheduled this live today, I forgot that I have a power session later on with my private community, and that's at 7 o'clock. All right. So let's see how much I can get done between now and let's say 6:50. All right. Because by then I need to be off so I can be ready for that situation. So let's see what happens. All right, people, while you're here, talk to me. If you have any questions, this is the perfect time. All right. Any questions you have about being plant-based, I can definitely point you in the right direction. All right. I've been cooking for almost 30 years professionally. So I've worked and trained in restaurants, in hotels, you name it, right? I help people also, I help people open restaurants. I help them train their staff. I create recipes and menus, so that's kind of what I do for a living. All right. So I have my sweet potatoes down here. What I'm going to do is drain the rest of this water out of my um, container for my garbanzo beans, and I'm going to add that to this so they can all kind of roast together, right? And get nice and merry. All right. So let's put this here. All right. Let's get a little bit of extra virgin olive oil over it. Give it a nice little, a little drizzle. Let's turn down the quinoa. I'm gonna add a little bit more boiling water to this. Let's see how it looks. And then what we'll do is we'll let that simmer. All right? Beautiful. Yep. We'll let that simmer. Now, after that, let's get some salt on here. And then we're gonna go with some fresh cracked black pepper, of course. Gotta have the fresh cracked black pepper. It's a must. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome. So this is going into the oven like this. Oven is at 400 and it's at 400 degrees. Not 400 and it's at 400 degrees. Don't mind me. So while that's working, we're gonna get our broccoli ready. Okay, get rid of this piece right here. And let's break down this broccoli, all right? So, we want florets, so nothing too crazy, right? Because then we're gonna break it down even more. And I like my broccoli with some texture to it. So we're not gonna, we're gonna cut it in a way that we can still keep the integrity of it, so it's not getting super mushy when we cook it. All right, let me get a spoon. Stir this baby real quick. All right, so this is about ready. Let's check the texture. Couscous cooks really quickly, so you don't need, a lot of cooking time. Yep. So this is like, couscous is basically pasta, right? So what you want to do is, you don't want to add too much water to it, but you want to add enough water that it cooks, and then you just kind of let it steep and just sit in this liquid and just kind of absorb the liquid, and it does its thing. You know what I mean? So this is what we're doing with that. So we're going to just leave that alone, and it's going to carry over, and that's going to finish it off so we don't have to keep boiling it, right? Because in the rapid boiling is what we don't want, and that's how we end up with overcooked couscous, right? It should have a nice, toothiness to it, all right, if that makes sense. So let's break down this broccoli. Welcome, welcome, people. How's everybody doing? Thanks for the love. All right, so we're just getting this broccoli into a place, and I love, different pieces, different shapes. It doesn't matter, the florets. You don't want anything too crazy, but you want to make sure that it's going to cook evenly. That's the most important thing, because we're going to char this, of course. So we have to make sure that it's all about the same size. All right. What's up, people? What's up? Welcome. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Thanks for hanging out with me. All right. Any questions while you're here? And don't ever throw away your broccoli stems. Like, there's tons of flavor there. It's super sweet. It's really nice texture as well. So definitely make sure you use all of it, right? And if your broccoli stems look a little, you can peel it, right? Get off that outer layer, and then you can cut it up, all right? But definitely don't throw away your broccoli stems. Like, that's a missed opportunity for sure. Alrighty, so broccoli is prepped. Let's clean up this board. So, I used to be on, the other platform a lot, so I'm fairly new to this one, right? I'm fairly new. I'm new. What's for dinner? What's up, Chocolate Star? For dinner, we're having Israeli couscous, right? Which is right here, right? We're having whole wheat Israeli couscous, all right? And then to this, I'm making a delicious coconut milk. I'm making a coconut milk dressing, right? Or coconut milk sauce, I should say. And I'm gonna mix into that. I have sweet potatoes and garbanzo beans in the oven. I have broccoli here I'm gonna char really quickly. Some onions I'm gonna caramelize. And then I have this beauty right here. This is what you call my plant roast. And I make this from scratch. What you're seeing there is ice because I keep it frozen so it'll last. But yeah, so I make this ahead of time, obviously, and I portion it. And this is what I use as my meat substitute. All right. Bon appetit, chef. Yes, most definitely. Oui. All right, so let's get this party started. I'm gonna get my pan down to char my broccoli. In the meantime, let me get out my extra sharp knife, of course, and we're going to get our onions ready for this dish. All right, super, super important. So, I love questions about food. All right, so if you have questions about food, please don't hesitate. There are no silly questions. If you ain't tapping, you're napping. I hear that. So bring the questions, people. Bring the questions. All right, let me guide you along this plant-based journey because that's what I do for a living. All right, I help people be more plant-based. Like, that's the goal, right? Welcome, people. Happy Friday. By the way, this knife that I'm using, what would I eat plant-based that tastes like chicken? All right. Before I answer that question, let me tell you something real quick. All right. Authentic queen. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, listen, you don't want to fall into that trap of trying to make things taste like something you're trying to not eat, right? It's cool in the beginning, but it's not realistic. And I say this in the most sincere, kindest way, because what ends up happening is that when you try to make vegan things taste like poultry, meat, seafood, what ends up happening is that it doesn't really work, and then you end up not going forward with it anymore, right? And it's almost like a discouraging situation at that point. So what I tell people to do is, instead of trying to make something taste like something you're trying to leave behind, Just make things that you love, make things that you actually enjoy eating. And by doing that, you're always going to win, right? But my salts are vegan. I like that. You're fancy. Okay, okay. I get that. I like that because even sugar, not all sugar is vegan, right? And you think it's just sugar, but anyway, that's another topic. But there are certain things you can do to mimic certain things, but not everything, right? Like this would be my meat substitute, right? This is my plant roast. Like it chews like meat, like chicken, like its texture. You can roast it, you can sear it. I turn this into bacon. I turn this into, pieces of beef chunks. I turn this into anything that I would possibly want to eat that would remind me or reminiscent of a meat or a poultry item, right? Not seitan. It's wheat gluten, all right, but it's made with tons of herbs and spices, mushrooms, onions, lots of onion, garlic. I go in with this, right? So that's basically, yes, definitely Soto. So the idea is to really create things that you love to eat, and then that in itself will allow you to win and just do this really efficiently, right? What are the content of the meat substitutes? So like I was saying earlier, it's wheat gluten, tons of mushrooms, right? Tons of onions, oats, right? Quinoa, like really healthy grains and legumes, right? And then what we do is we combine that with the wheat gluten because that's the binder. That's what gives you that mouth, that toothy situation, which is what you crave when you stop eating meat, right? Or poultry. And by using that formula and then by steaming and baking, it allows you to get this amazing texture where it's like if you close your eyes and you're eating it, you can't really tell the difference. That's the kind of texture you get from making this. So, these are the things that I teach, and I just show people that, it's possible. Like I also even do a plant-based version of eggs, right? Because the brand Just Eggs, they have liquid eggs that they sell, right? That's 100% vegan. The only issue with that is there's a ton of chemicals in there that they have to put together to make just eggs, right? So my version, you can read all the ingredients, you can name all of them, and you can find them in the supermarket on the shelves. With what's in just eggs, you really can't, unfortunately. So, for me, like my liquid eggs, I take mung beans, right? There are different kinds of lentils. Mung beans is one of those, and it's much drier version of lentils. So I use that as my base, right? And with that, you just need to add water, spices, salt and pepper, and you literally have liquid eggs. Like it's literally that simple. And you can turn that into scrambled eggs. You can turn it into an omelet. It's amazing because it just does what eggs do when you liquefy your eggs. So there's certain things you can use and you can cool like a loaf. You got it, Sumo. So there's certain things that you can, replace, and there's certain things that you don't want to replace because that's when you fall into that dangerous category, right? So you just have to kind of play around with it. You're a caterer, chocolate star, that's cool. That's cool. I'm a chef. I'm a consulting chef. So I did catering for a little bit, but with the consulting, I get to, based on my schedule, I run 3 businesses with my wife. So we have a hair business that they're all online, and then we have my consulting business, and then we have another digital e-commerce business. So I can't really do too much of being in the kitchen a lot. So being able to consult allows me to, do some kitchen, but then still focus on my business, right? What's the main ingredient for liquid eggs? Oh, the main ingredient is mung dal. So it's spelled Moong and then Dal. And you can get it at any Indian, supermarket or anything like that. That's the main, that's like 90% of what's in liquid eggs, right? 43 years. That's amazing. That's amazing. I love that. I've been cooking for almost 30. So kudos to you. Kudos to you. All right, let's char some broccoli, people. So charring broccoli adds tons of flavor. Peace and blessings to you. Jennifer, you got it. You're so welcome. So charring broccoli, this is how you put tons of flavor in your broccoli, right? I love charring my broccoli because like it's just flavor. Broccoli has natural sugar in it. So when you char it, you're able to bring out some of that sugar and just caramelize it naturally without adding anything else, right? So into a dry pan, super hot, we're gonna just put the broccoli in. Okay, so broccoli's in, and what we're gonna do, dry pan, all right, super important. Now we drizzle just a little bit of oil over it, just enough to kind of wet the bottom of the saute pan, not even like drench. We don't want to put a lot, all right? Like that's it, like maybe a tablespoon and a half, right? And then what we do is we go in with some seasonings. So for my favorite, we're gonna do some of these. So this is my flavor maker. This has turmeric, black pepper, it has sea salt, and it's celery salt, and it's just money, right? So that's all we're adding to this. So we're gonna just let that go for a little bit, maybe 3 minutes or so, just so we can really develop that flavor. Let's check on the sweet potatoes in the meantime. Yes, thank you. All right, so sweet potatoes are roasting nice and slow in the oven. Welcome, welcome everybody. How we doing? How we doing? Okay, so what's next? Let's get our plant roast. This baby right here saves lives, people. It saves lives. All right, so I use my plant roast. I slice them really thin. For breakfast, I turn them into bacon. They crisp up really nicely. Sometimes if I'm in the mood and I want to do curry, I'll cut these into chunks, add it into my curry. It works amazing as well. You can put it in a food processor or a Roboku and turn it into grounds, all right, and use it for pasta. Like literally, it's universal. You can basically use it for anything, all right? And then the cool thing about this is that when you're making it, you can literally season it whatever flavor you want. So this one is like a deep smoke flavor. So I added things like smoked paprika. I added liquid smoke to it. I added chipotle. I even added some Worcestershire sauce. I added mesquite powder. So it's really nice, and it gives you this meaty kind of element and flavor to it. You sound like you have some Caribbean family. I do. I am definitely Caribbean, true and true. All right, you don't know, respect. Nah, seriously, I'm from St. Lucia, so, but I grew up in Brooklyn, right? So you see how long I had the broccoli? Didn't move it around, didn't do anything, right? Now we're gonna give it a toss. All right, and let me show you the char that we're looking for, right? See that? That's just flavor right there. Let me show you another one. See? So we can just spread this out a little bit more, turn up the fire just a little bit, and then we can go again with just a little bit drizzle of oil. Okay. I'm going to give my Israeli couscous a stir. All right, all that water has been evaporated. So this is why I say to season the liquid when you make your couscous. So this way, when the couscous absorbs all of that liquid, it goes right into it. All that flavor goes right into the couscous. And then now you have flavor that you've built without even doing too much. All right, that looks delicious. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, thank you. All right, so move this knife over here. So with the roast, we're just gonna basically make little slices so we can dice it up and just kind of treat it like, you know, kind of like grounds, but just a little bit bigger. And this is gonna go right into here. Put this to the side. Broccoli is almost ready. So what we're gonna do, once the broccoli is done, we're gonna saute our onions, and then we're gonna add the meat substitute to it. All right, the plant roast. Get some of that caramelized onion flavor in there. I'm telling you. And this meat roast, this plant roast right here, you can eat it as is. Like the seasoning is already in it. Greetings. What's on the menu this evening? Ah, YK, what's up, man? Welcome back. Welcome back. So tonight we're doing Israeli couscous, right? We're gonna make a coconut cumin dressing to go on top of it, and that's gonna get tossed with a bunch of broccoli, some onions, some roasted sweet potatoes, some garbanzo beans, and then we're gonna fold in some kale right at the end, right? We gotta have lots of greens, you know? Super, super important. Can't forget the greens. So that's what we're doing tonight, but I am on a serious time crunch, yo. Like, you have no idea. Tell us what's Israeli couscous. Ooh, all right, authentic, I got you. So there's two types of couscous, right? There is Israeli couscous, which looks like this. It looks like little pebbles, right? Like little beads, little balls. And then there is Moroccan couscous, which literally looks like quinoa, right? So that's the difference. Moroccan couscous is like quinoa, and Israeli couscous is like little pasta, right? And the taste is very different, right? Moroccan couscous is very earthy, and Israeli couscous is really like pasta, like Italian pasta, right? It has that flavor. It's very similar, not 100% like pasta, but it's very close to that flavor, right? So that's the difference between the two. But they're amazing. They're like really healthy and just really good. This one that I have here today, it's whole wheat Israeli couscous. So you can get regular couscous that's not whole wheat, and it'll be more yellow. But this one is whole wheat couscous. That's why it's a little bit darker in color. All right. Ooh, thank you. I'll look for some. Yes, you definitely want to try it. It's really cool. And the way you want to cook it, right? You want to so you want to use like a vegetable stock or a vegetable broth, and you want to make sure that you add some bay leaves to that, some fresh thyme, things like that, and cook it where once it starts cooking, it can absorb the water and not get overcooked, right? Super important. But after it's cooked, you want to just kind of let it sit and do its thing and kind of cool down, and then you can kind of just add things to it. And I'm telling you, like, you can add candied ginger, you can add smoked flavors. Like, it's an amazing thing to work with. So definitely check it out. Princess Monaco, what's up? What's up? All right, so we're caramelizing our onions. I'm gonna turn that down. I'm gonna add my plant roast to it. All right, and then while this is working, we're gonna get our delicious coconut milk sauce ready to go. All right, let me give this a stir. Okay, we got that going. So in our container, hello, new here. What's up, Queenie? How you doing? A lot of plant-based foods, you have to watch out for ingredients. Oh yeah, for sure. That's why anytime I'm shopping, either me or my kids, we're reading the ingredients, right? I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. So coconut milk, all right, nice and chunky, all that good fat. But yeah, you definitely need to read the ingredients, because they be playing some serious games out there, man. They just put anything in that stuff and just make it look good, right? And you want to pay attention to the companies that are that make the front look really pretty, You know what I mean? Because they're banking on you not paying attention to what's going on in the back, right? And then when you read the ingredients, pay attention to what the first, second, and third ingredients are. Like I was trying to buy tortilla chips because we did nachos a couple nights ago, right? And of course we did it from scratch. But in looking at the different brands of tortilla chips, I would say at least half of them, the second ingredient was oil. And then the third ingredient was oil. The fourth ingredient was oil. And I'm like, what's going on? So it took me a minute to find a tortilla chip that wasn't predominantly oil, which is crazy, right? You would think that that wouldn't be the case, but it definitely was the case. So definitely, like you said, Princess, you want to make sure that you are reading your ingredients for sure. So in my coconut milk, I just added onion powder, cumin, and garlic powder, right? I'm going to add some smoked paprika to this as well. And then put these to the side. Let's stir our roast. Thanks, Princess. I appreciate those roses. What's up, people? All right, look at this. Look how pretty this looks, right? It's just beautiful. Okay, so we have that going. Let's see our sweet potatoes almost ready. Okay, now in here we're gonna add. Do you make your own spices? Yes, I do. I actually have a company. We have probably over 12 different spices. So definitely check that out. But yeah, we do all kinds. Smoked salt. We do, this one here we're gonna add to flavor because we're doing a Moroccan themed dinner right now. So Arabian Nights is one of the spices that I do, and no frying, just sauteing, right? And this Moroccan seasoning has fennel, it has cumin, it has some really amazing flavors in here. So it's really nice for this particular dish. There's some curry in here as well, like gluten-free. Yes, definitely gluten-free. I have a few of my seasonings that are gluten-free as well. So definitely check it out. So to this dressing, we're gonna get my hemp seeds. All right, if I can find them, here we go. All right, so hemp seeds, I'm adding hemp seeds in because hemp seeds, of course, is super healthy. All right, and then it also is gonna give me body for the sauce. All right. Okay. Let's see. Put this away. And then with my kale right here.
Oh, Chef, you look good.
Oh, thank you, babies. Alrighty, salt and pepper, of course. Can't do without the salt and pepper. So we're gonna add that in there. What's up? Alrighty. As you can see, I love fresh cracked black pepper. I use it every chance I get. Alright, so last but not least, I'm gonna add a little bit of. How often are you live? 5 days a week, baby. 5 days a week. You can find me here Monday to Friday, and I'm always making dinner. Right? Sometimes I'll come on during the day and show you something. Like earlier on in this week, I did a fire cider, a tropical fire cider, right? So that's sitting in my cabinet for 30 days. And once it's ready, it's going to be delicious. But yeah, you can find me here every week. All right. Hello from Australia. Rosie, what's up? Australia. Good eye, Mike.
No, you didn't.
I know, right?
No,
I don't even know why I did that.
Oh no!
You got you,
Rosie.
Rosie, you got me excited, Rosie. My bad.
Rosie, I apologize. I'm so sorry.
She's laughing.
Oh no, Rosie, no, I'm so sorry.
Don't encourage me,
And
Rosie.
you were so confident.
I know, right? I was like, what? Yeah, I did it again. So a little maple syrup, not too much. Hi from Connecticut, Blueberry. What's up? You know, I used to live in New York, so Connecticut, you know, I used to visit because it's
Right up
close
the
by,
street,
you
yeah.
know, down the street, right? It's all good.
No, you didn't.
Thanks, Rosie. I appreciate that. Okay, so our plant roast is nice and caramelized. Look at this. Look at this. All right. So since this is nice and caramelized, what we're gonna do now, I'll pull that to the side. I'm going to add my broccoli to it, right? So broccoli is going in right now. Boom. Right? Then we're gonna get the garbanzo beans from out of the oven because the garbanzo beans is ready. I'm gonna throw that in here. Alright? And I'll show you what this looks like in a second. Some of them are like, no. Alrighty. We're gonna put the sweet potato back. It's almost ready. I like it to get just a little bit more color. Right? Okay. So this is what we're looking at right now. We have garbanzo beans, we have our plant roast, we have the broccoli. Alright? So we're only missing a few key ingredients and then we're gonna be ready to rock and roll. Alright, let's see what we're doing on time. Okay, we got 10 minutes. Alrighty. Let's get this sauce going. Blueberry, thank you so much. Alright, thank you so much. So, for those of you who didn't join me from the beginning, what I was saying is that what time is dinner? Dinner is now. Dinner is now. But I have a live with my wife. I can't tolerate tofu. Princess. Come join me a few more times and I'll have you loving tofu. I promise you.
Yeah, Princess
All right?
hasn't had your tofu.
Yeah, if you could eat my tofu, you would never say that again. Ever. Tofu is amazing. You just have to know how to treat it. Alright? And let me tell you how to do it. Healthy and fresh. It is very healthy and very fresh. Thank you so much, Blueberry. So tofu, the best way to enjoy tofu, cut it up, right? Let it, take it out of the package, the water that it's in, and let it just air dry in your refrigerator for like a day, right? And then once that happens, you just cut it into cubes, and you want to take your most favorite seasoning. So I would take onion powder, garlic powder, smoked paprika, take some salt, black pepper, some sesame oil, some soy sauce, mix that all together, put it on the tofu, let it sit for like 15-20 minutes, and then bake it. It's gonna be super delicious. Bake it at 400 degrees and bake it until it starts to get like crispy around the edges, almost burnt slightly, right? And I'm telling you, it'll absorb it. Yes, it will. The tofu will suck up all that marinade, but don't put too much liquid. You want to put more of the dry spices and less of the liquid because you don't want it too wet, right? Then put a little bit of oil on the bottom of your pan. Spread out the tofu. Don't layer it on top of one another like this. We're not marrying it right now, right? We want it separated, right? According to the song, you got to keep it separated, right? And then you bake it. I'm telling you, you will love tofu. And then just mess around with different seasoning profiles. And it's going to be amazing. So what's in here is coconut milk. Oh. And I just made this up on live, by the way. So what's in here is coconut milk. Babe, try this. Coconut milk, onion powder, garlic powder, mushroom oyster sauce.
Shut your mouth.
Smoked paprika, and salt and pepper.
That is so good.
And cumin.
Ooh.
I'm telling you. So this is going into our mix right now.
Ooh.
Right? So we have this action right here. You know what? I'm getting excited. Let me move things around.
So good. Say, I called you shift.
Shift.
I couldn't even speak.
That sounds delicious. It is delicious because you
It's
get
so creamy.
Exactly. Oh, and I put hemp seeds.
Oh.
So you get the sweetness from the coconut milk, right? That nutty flavor from the coconut milk. You get that tropical. Then you get the thickness from the hemp seeds.
Oh.
And then I put a little bit of tamarind syrup in there as well. So there's a lot of different flavors going on.
And let's not talk about what hemp seed is so good.
Hemp seeds is really good for you. A lot of omegas, a lot of really great things going on, right? So that's what we have here. So last but not least, I'm gonna check my kale, make sure that it's good before I put it into the pan. You know, sometimes you have some stragglers there, right? You gotta make sure you look through them. Okay, so kale's going in, right? Get rid of my board. Thank you, thank you. Are the hemp seeds powdered? Are the hemp seeds powdered? No, so it's just fresh hemp seeds. God wants us to be frugivores. Cooking food came from people who. Alrighty, yeah, I know. Okay, so right here, all right, we have our Israeli couscous, and this will kind of stick together. So after it's cooked, if you want, you can drizzle a little bit of oil on it, all right, and then that'll keep it separated just like you would pasta. Let me get rid of the fresh thyme, all of these aromatics adding flavor. All right, boom, boom, boom. Mmm, so good. All right, just like that. All right, and then we're gonna give this a nice little mix. So healthy, all right? So healthy and so good for you. Lots of fiber, omega-3s, B6, all that good stuff we have going on in here. So now for our dressing. Ah, thanks, princess. You like my kitchen? I appreciate that. Oh, my hands are slippery. Oh my goodness, I gotta dry my hands. I gotta wash my hands.
Oh, snap. I'm like,
oh my goodness.
Oh no, I cannot. Right? I'm about to bust a vein.
Alright, let's do this the old school way.
Oh man. Right? Chef, how'd you get that?
You know, I tighten it and then, you know, the oil on my hands now.
Careful. Oh, okay, let me put some African muscle in there. That's crazy.
Oh my goodness, why is this so slippery? You know what, I'm gonna put it back in blend and then we go.
What?
Jeez!
That's crazy. Let me help you, Chef, so you can keep up. I'll take care of it.
The sauce doesn't want to come out, people. This is crazy. Ah, beautiful.
I told you, I got that African muscle.
Thank you for the African muscle. All right. I appreciate it, my strong wife. All right. So, sauce over it. Not a lot. Just enough to coat the stuff. And then we give it a nice little toss. And that's it.
Oh, you're done?
Yeah, dinner's done. Oh, we almost forgot the sweet potato.
Ooh.
But that's the last thing. Right? And then we are done.
Oh, that looks so good.
All right, so sweet potato goes in. Beautiful. All right. Ooh, that's hot. All right, people. Dinner's done. Right, just like that. Dinner's done. Alrighty. So, super clean, super colorful, tons of flavor because everything that's in this saute pan right now was seasoned and cooked separately. That's the key here, right? You can't just put everything in the pan and season it one time and then think it's gonna be good. Like, that's where you make a big mistake. All right. So season everything separately, cook it separately, and then bring it together. Where are you from? Y'all working at the team? That's good. You don't see that. Appreciate that, Sparkle. So we're from Atlanta, Georgia. All right. My wife's Nigerian. I'm St. Lucian. So, you know, that's what we do. Let's see. Let me try broccoli and some of this.
Chef, you're being selfish. Give me that. Oh.
Mm-hmm. So good.
Mmm.
Thank you, Blueberry. Blending the cultures. That's what's up. Most definitely. We do that 24/7. She said, "Don't leave her out." She sure did. She don't miss the beat because the food is so good.
Oh man, it's delicious.
Thanks, babes. So,
Chef, I have a question. Would you be able to put that over some pasta?
yeah,
Oh,
100%. Pasta, rice, a bunch of roasted vegetables. This sauce, you can literally put it on anything you want. Gotta do that next time. Also, I never cut up the tofu ahead of time. You definitely want to do that. Yeah, cut it, marinate it, and you'll be good to go. Trust me, it'll change the way you see and enjoy your tofu. All right?
so good.
Okay, people, I gotta get out of here.
Chef, you did
I'll
good.
see you on Monday over some wild rice. Exactly.
Ooh,
Exactly.
wild rice. Who said that?
Who said that? YK.
Good job, YK.
Yeah, most
That's
definitely.
a good idea.
It's definitely a good idea. So, people, have an amazing weekend. If I'm feeling spunky, I might come on here tomorrow or Sunday. I don't know, depending on what I'm doing. But if not, you will definitely catch me on Monday. Peace and love. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves and make sure you treat yourself excellent.
Excellent.
All right. Later. Much love. Anytime. Anytime. I will do clips of it.